There's one big factor in this Colorado versus Colorado State game that you're not going to see on the stat sheet, you're not going to see in the paper, but it is going to have a major impact on this ball game. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, hope all of you had a great week. Hope all of you are having a great Friday. If not, hope this video can make it a little bit better. On the agenda today, we got the Colorado Coach Prime-led Buffaloes versus the Colorado State preview. Well, I said preview. Normally I say preview and prediction video, but you get the point. We're going to talk about the game. This topic is so important. It is the one and only thing we're going to talk about in today's video. So get you a popcorn, get you a snack, get nice and comfortable because it's going to be an interesting one to say the least. Let's establish some ground rules, okay? Because I know we're going to have a bunch of Colorado fans watch this video. Number one, I don't hate your team. I don't know how many more times I gotta say that. There's this big misconception that if Matt says something bad about your favorite college football team, he hates them, he despises them, he's preying on their downfall. But in reality, I'm not. Ask Nebraska fans, they're starting to find out, oh, wait a minute, Matt actually doesn't hate Nebraska. It's just for the past 4 or 5 years, I've had to talk terrible about Nebraska because they've been an awful football team and program. But now, fast forward time, since they're looking pretty good, I've been saying good things about them, and Nebraska fans are like, oh, well, you know, maybe he was just calling it for how it was. Same thing for Colorado, and I'll just put it to you like this, being 100% transparent. My life doesn't change whether Colorado goes 18-0 or they win one football game. Doesn't change, not even to the slightest. I could care less whether Colorado's one of the best teams or one of the worst teams. I'm going to report on it either way. Alright, cool. Now that we've gotten that understanding out the way, let's talk about some football. I said it dating back to last year. I'm going to continue to say it because nothing has changed. Colorado is an average football team at best. That is at best, okay? You don't always play your best, which means for the most part, they're below average. And a lot of times they can suck, and we saw it last week. They suck. They look like one of the worst teams in the nation. This is nothing more, nothing less than an AAU basketball team. I also refer to it as the traveling circus. What does a traveling circus do? It goes from city to city to state, and it puts on a clown show that people pay money to go to. Well, that's a Colorado football team. This isn't a real football team. I don't take them serious, and nobody in this industry takes them serious. With all that bad stuff being said, I do have some good news for my Colorado fans. You have a winnable game tomorrow. And matter of fact, I'm curious. Let me pull it up. I assume Colorado's going to be favored by at least, 5 or 6 points. Let's pull it up. Trying to find it. Okay, yeah, here it is. Colorado -7. I don't mind that 9 to the slightest, and Colorado got extremely fortunate last year to win this game. Last year, Colorado State outplayed them, but they made too many mistakes to overcome it. Colorado walks out of there with a win. I believe without even checking, the final score was 43-35, and Colorado won in double overtime. I remember that game like it was yesterday. I was up till like 3 a.m. That was that game that didn't kick off till like my time, 11 p.m. Central, and went in double overtime. So yeah, we was up till 2 or 3 a.m. in the morning. Obviously, at Colorado, let's kind of speed run through this. You know what you're going to get. Terrible defense, and they got Shadur and Travis and Jimmy Horn Jr. That's it. AAU basketball team. They're going to put up points. As do how many? Well, that depends on their offensive line. If their offensive line can hold up, they might can get in the 30s and 40s. If they don't hold up, well, they're going to struggle to break the 20s. Let's talk about Colorado State, because I'm going to assume a large majority of you don't know too much about them, rightfully so, because they're not a big name brand and program. The good news, if you're a Colorado State fan, which I don't know if we have too many of those on the channel, you got your quarterback from last year that played in the game playing in this year's game. Last year, he threw that pick 6 to Shiloh Sanders, and I believe in total he had 2 to 3 interceptions. Wasn't a great performance. However, when he wasn't throwing interceptions, he was dicing up that Colorado defense. And now that he has that whole year from last year under his belt, he's returning, he should be a little bit better. One of my favorite players on that Colorado State team is their wide receiver, Torrey Horton. Not sure if he's going to give it a go. I've seen some people say he might not due to injury. I guess we'll have to wait and see. But whether Torrey Horton winds up playing in the game, it doesn't go into my decision, or it doesn't factor into my decision too much when predicting this game. Running back play, duh, Colorado State's got the advantage. Not because I think their running backs are that much better than Colorado's. It's because Colorado doesn't run the ball. Whether they don't run the ball because they rather pass or they just simply can't run the ball, that's a different conversation for a different day, and it doesn't matter. What does matter is Colorado State does have the edge in the rushing game. There's one big factor in this Colorado versus Colorado State game that you're not going to see on the stat sheet, you're not going to see in the paper, but it is going to have a major impact on this ball game. And that is no other than Colorado State is a football team. Whoa, hold on. I know what you're sitting here saying. Matt, are you kidding me, brother? Yes, I know Colorado State's a football team. What are you trying to say? What I'm trying to say when I say that is, and some of you already know where I'm going with this, is although they're not I'd even say they're not a good football team, Colorado's not a team at all. Colorado is the farthest thing from a college football team. What are they? Say it with me now. An AAU basketball team. They're a bunch of individuals. They don't care about one another, and the only reason sometimes it looks fun and okay there is when they're winning. But as soon as you punch Colorado in the nose, they're going to bow down and they're going to start blaming one another. It's not that they can't overcome a deficit, adversity, and obstacles. It's more so if they won't do it. A big part of being a team is when things aren't going your way, you can look at the man next to you and say, you know what, I got you, bro, let's do it. If one of your brothers out there is having a bad game, you pick him up, and vice versa. If you're having a bad game, he picks you up. And for most teams out here, heck, even high school football teams, they do that. But Colorado, nah, not gonna happen, and it won't happen. Colorado is a bunch of individuals. Me. I want to put up all the stats and numbers, and oh yeah, I mean, I guess if we win, that's just a bonus. There's no camaraderie, zero leadership, and a flat-out joke. So with that being said, let me ask you a question. Why in the world would I pick Colorado to win this football game? Why? Some of you may say, well, Matt, what about Travis Hunter? What about Shadir Sanders? And I agree. That's the only reason I give this team any, and it's a very slight amount, but any respect at all. We know this. Colorado is far more talented than Colorado State. But in sports, if you have played or even if you've watched sports for a long time, you know this. The better team with more talent doesn't always win. The team that is more unified, and it's kind of cliche and corny when I say this, but is a team, a combined unit, they're going to win. Going back to the AAU basketball reference, let's talk about that. If you've ever played or watched it, you know this. Who is the hardest team to beat in AAU basketball? That team that is full of the white boys that can shoot threes, lights out, they play lockdown defense, and they play together. That's the hardest team to beat because they're so disciplined and they're not going to make mistakes. Are those players individually better than the 6'7" guy they're labeling as the next Michael Jordan or LeBron James? No, not even close. But that's just one guy. Same thing here with Shadir and Travis. You got two of the best players in the world, but you only got two of them. All Colorado State has got to do in this game is jump out 7-10-0, and it's wraps from there. Colorado, they'll fold like an omelet. Shadir Sanders doesn't even really want to be there anymore. Travis Hunter, he's sick and tired of losing, and you can see it. This is also a revenge game for Colorado State, and I dare say they're Super Bowl because they know they're not going to compete for the playoff. And I kind of have the mentality that Colorado's going to walk in here thinking, hey, man, we're Colorado. They're just going to bow down to us, and that ain't going to happen. I got Colorado State, I guess you could say, shocking some people, winning this game 31. Colorado State 31. Colorado 27. It's going to be close, and let me clarify, I wouldn't be shocked if Colorado wins. It's just hard for me to pick them because they're not a real football team. Can't take them serious, man, and until they prove something to me or anybody else, why would you? Depending on the outcome, we may or may not do a reaction video to it on Saturday, so we'll just wait and see. Many more things I could say, want it out there. Let me know your thoughts down below, but